So today we're going to go through one of their quotes for a 2-bedroom unit in Chatham. We're looking at like 30 grand to hire out to another company.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this one, we're saving money, is it does include travel time, because we're driving from London all the way to Chatham to do all this work, and that eats up an hour and a half, at least a day. Doesn't include travel time. We're saving money right there.
New investors are getting into, hiring a contractor or renovating a project. It can be easy to overlook a lot of these small things, right? Like, oh, what's a door handle? What's a toilet holder? What's really, how much is trim? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, no, actually this really does add up. And there's actually a decent amount of labor and materials that go into those finishing touches. What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and we're back with Tom the Contractor. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Doing well. And so I'm excited for today's video. We're going to be kind of taking a different approach than a lot of our other videos. So what Tom's got for us today, guys, is a quote from a third-party contractor that we're using on some of our buildings now. We're just going to kind of talk through their quote. We've kind of blocked out their name and stuff, but we're just going to kind of walk through the scope of work. I know so many people have a variety of questions and fears when it comes to tackling any sort of project. How detailed should the quote be from the contractor? How do I know what's appropriate? And we're just going to kind of chat through stream of consciousness on this quote. Now, again, we are hiring this company, so like no one should read this as us bad talking the company in any way. This is just going to be us talking through, because there's obviously a difference when you're hiring a third-party contractor versus when you've maybe got an employee or a team of employees that are your in-house or in-source contracting. All right, Tom. So I guess, do you mind, just for anyone that's maybe watching this video or my channel for the first time, just give us a quick recap of your role and what you do day to day?
So I'm kind of like a hands-on project manager. You guys hired me to help manage all your renovations through all your apartment building. So I help organize all the trades, our own in-house labor, and any outsourcing to any other trades to come into all our units and finish them from top to bottom. So we go in there at the very beginning from demo, and we're there to the very end from setting up all the furniture and get it ready to be rented out. And since you guys have been growing so fast, buying many units, it's kind of outscaled our in-house labor at the point. So we've tried to outsource some of the units to another general contracting company who has all their own sub-trades and trades for their own work. So we bring them in, they come through all the units, and then they quote us to fully renovate the units from beginning to end. So today we're going to go through one of their quotes for a 2-bedroom unit in Chatham. The quote includes pretty much the entire renovation. We are still using our own electrician and plumbers to do the rough-in. So the quote doesn't include all the electrical or rough-in plumbing, but we can talk about those numbers when we get to that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it.
All right, so this is the quote we get from the company. We've blocked out a bunch of stuff, but we'll just go into the nitty-gritty here. So this first window is their quote for installing a kitchen and the cabinetry, I guess. So we have them installing a brand new vanity into our bathroom. It's a 36-inch vanity with a marble countertop, and this quote includes the installation, the caulking, the installing all the hardware, and the plumbers to come in to do the finish hookups for the vanity. And they're giving us a quote of $475. So we can kind of break that down. If you go to Home Depot and you buy your own vanity for like up to 36, vanities are pretty expensive. Like the cheapest for that range is like $250 to $300 just to buy the vanity brand new from like Home Depot. So that extra $175 is like delivery, installation, and the plumbers coming to hook it up with the caulking and everything. So that's like a reasonable cost for a new vanity. when you're outsourcing it to another company. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then will they also be removing the old stuff, or are you guys doing the demo in advance?
For this unit, we did all the demo in advance. If they're flexible with that, well, the one unit they're doing for us in Wellington, they did all the demo and everything. They even outsourced that to another company to come in and do the demo. But for this one, the demo was already done.
Gotcha.
So, and then the next big order is their kitchen. So most kitchen installation quotes come in linear feet. So they'll measure all the walls that your cabinets are going, and then they usually have a linear foot price for installing cabinets. So we have 31 feet of cabinets because we got like two 10-foot walls and then an island too. So there's an island in this kitchen, and this price includes all the installation, all the hardware, the handles, countertops, sink. This quote doesn't include countertops because we have another not in-house, but our own subcontractor for all our quartz countertops. So this kitchen is going to be about $4,000 to install. Off the shelf cabinets from Rona, we're looking at like between $2,000 and like $3,000, depending on if we were to buy it from Rona and install it ourselves. So it's a bit more, but it's still relatively reasonable price for these kitchens. You're usually looking at like $5,000 for kitchens, anyways.
Yeah.
What's this next one? Oh, this is the island. Sorry, this is the island here. The next one's the island. So another $500 for a 4-foot island.
Gotcha. So about $4,500 all in.
Yeah, for brand new kitchen cabinets. So that's the quote for the kitchen. And then we have all the ceramics, which is basically tile work. So we're tiling the bathroom floors. We are supplying the tiles for this job. We get our ceramic tiles for around $2 to $3 a square foot. And this quote is just installing it.
And is there a certain, because people always love details, especially when they're new to this, is there a certain color or a name or a style that you regularly use, or?
It's something, it kind of, the floor tiles are like a 12 by 24. They kind of look like a concrete. We do a lot of gray themes in all our renovations. I can find the name of the tile, but it's just a 12 by 24 gray concrete looking tile. So this one, $280 to install the floor, which is actually a pretty good price. It usually takes about half a day to a day just to install it, and then you got to grout it the next day. So that's a reasonable rate for that. And then we on this job we're putting in tile baseboards. So like normally you just put in like MDF baseboards in a bathroom, and then they can get damaged quickly just because of all the water. But if you put tile on the baseboards, then it'll never get damaged. And then the next one is they're installing the tub surround with the new dense shield concrete board, and then they're going to be tiling the whole tub surround. So that price is $800. Have someone come in and tile your shower, which is another reasonable price. I've had quotes from $1,000 to $1,200 just for tiling shower.
How does that compare to like other solutions? Because I know landlords are always wondering, like, should I reglaze it? Should I get one of those like all-in-one surrounds?
Like the quickest, so like tiles or like tub surround would be the I forget the plastic PVC whatever, glue it on. You can install a new shower in one day, and they still look relatively nice. But they can be damaged if like someone punctured a hole into it. Can't really fix it other than hole or whatever. tile always looks the nicest and has the longest duration because it is very water resilient and tenant resilient too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the next one, so we're using the 3x6 white subway tile up to 50 square feet in the shower. And they're supplying that for this job too. So that's the price for the tile work in the unit. And then we just have some general labor moving fridges and stoves into place. The fridges and stoves are already on site, so we just have to bring it into the unit. What's this next? Oh, there's a bunch of drywall work in this unit that needs fixing. I forget if this is the unit that had all the holes punched through the wall from the previous tenant.
Gotcha.
There was a lot of extra drywall work in that unit. So we got a quote of $10 a square foot for patching drywall. So basically, I guess they went and measured all the holes in the wall, and then we had 105 square feet of patching to do. So I guess this is one quote, which is kind of interesting, that if you have a hole in your wall, I guess $10, if you just measure it, should roughly be the cost on fixing a hole in your wall. And then they'd have 8 hours of mudding to fix all those at $55 an hour per man hour. I'm guessing they're including some of their own overhead charges in that to cover the laborer's costs and then their own profit on top of their labor, I guess. And then the old kitchens were all boxed in with a wall.
Right.
They had to smash out one of the walls to make it an open concept kitchen. So this is them rebuilding the wall and the bulkhead to make it all open concept.
Gotcha. And then would that also include like the cubby hole for the laundry?
I think this one, okay, yeah, this is a unit where we were able to put the laundry inside an actual building laundry room. Yeah. One of the other quotes has because like sometimes we're able to put the laundry in its own special room, which is nice. And we have to put it in the kitchen just because there's no other feasible place to put it. This one, I'm pretty sure we were able to put it in a proper room.
Gotcha.
For it, so there's no extra charge for that other than all the extra plumbing work to run the drains over there. And install the microwave range. I guess they're just including that for the kitchen install. And then this next one is all the door or bedroom, bathroom and door finishes, supplying all the mirrors, the handles. So installing a mirror, the price from them is $125. Mirrors are actually kind of expensive. You can buy one from like Home Depot that kind of matches the vanity for like $70-ish, $80. And then you got to pay a guy to install it. So that's why it's $125. Buying a door handle, you can get them on sale for around $17-18, but normally they're like $25 up to $30 for just the basic door handle. So that's them supplying in the labor to install one of those doors. Then we have just a slab door. That's a slab door is just the door, not including any of the trim around the door or the door jambs. They're charging $175 to install that. You can buy a slab door for around $100. And then there's a bunch of labor involved to router out all the hinges and the door holes for the door handle and all of that. And then we got your toilet paper holder, all the shower towel bars. You can normally we get a lot of the stuff off Amazon, and you can buy like kits that come with all the towel bar, the toilet, and light fixtures for I think we were getting for $80 to $40 for all of that. Here that they're pricing for each thing. And then we got the bathroom fan at $43. And then what's that? Bathroom. What's right there? Yeah, our electrician installs it, and then their contractors install it in the drop ceilings. And then all the trim. There's they just measure each bedroom linear wall feet, and then they give you just a linear foot of all your trim. So we got what's that? 175 linear feet of door casing, because every door is like 45 linear feet, because we got 7 on both sides.
Right.
That's trim in every door. I would hope so, anyways. Yeah. And then a bunch more doors. So this is nice because they label it each bedroom.
Yeah. And I guess like probably one of the biggest things here is when a lot of new investors are getting into, hiring a contractor or renovating a project, it can be easy to overlook a lot of these small things, right? Like, oh, what's a door handle? What's a toilet holder? What's really, how much is trim? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, no, actually this really does add up. And there's actually a decent amount of labor and materials that go into those finishing touches. Yeah,
exactly. And all these prices include like profit for the construction too, because you got to add at least 20%. Because if you're not adding that as a construction company, then you're not.
Yeah, going to be in business for long.
So you have to pay more than you would if you were buying it all yourself at Home Depot and installing it yourself. Which is nice about this company is that they're working on 3 units at once for us, and they say they'll be done 3 units in 5 weeks. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's meaning you're getting your $1,700 a month in rent in 5 weeks once it's all done type thing. So you might have to pay a bit more, but it's time frame is really good. So it's just like closet shelf supports and just everything to finish one of these bedrooms. So pretty much all the same for each bedroom, entrance, hallway.
Yeah, but we can see that all those little miscellaneous touches, the doors, the trim, it does add up. So overall, compared to what this entire total is, $5,700 is a decent chunk of the budget.
Yeah, for sure. And then we got in the painting here. So to paint 2-bedroom. So to paint the whole bedroom, 2-bedroom unit with an extra coat of stain blocker we're looking at $1,700 to paint the whole unit. That's reasonable price just because like when I'm doing it with my guys, we always seem to be going back and having to paint touch up stuff and get the paint back out, and that always adds time and labor. With this, it's a guaranteed price. So like when the whole renovation's going on, all the other painters still have to come back and make sure everything is done to our standard, and it still stays at the same price. So they need to make sure that everything is looking good and it's done quickly because they have a set price. When we have like some of my painters that I have on the crew, sometimes they just take a bit longer because they're not as fast and stuff as the professional painter, so it might take them a bit longer. So having set prices for some things is really good because then you're not going to be going over budget because of the slow trim paint type thing. So that's your painting for a 2-bedroom unit. And then we got plumbing. So they're supplying the toilet and water line and all the gaskets and the bowl and the removal of the old one. We're looking at $455. You can buy a brand new tub or toilet for around like $150 to $200. And then normally we put them in ourselves. So like we would probably be saving money doing it ourselves for the toilets anyways, because they're not too hard to put in either. but I guess for like kind of like insurance reasons, they usually want licensed guys to do it just because if it leaks and then you go through insurance, they're going to be like, who installed the toilet? And it's Carlos and payroll. You're like, shit. Yeah, so that's your toilet, and then the vanity sink, faucets for that, and then the finished plumbing, all the calling in the plumber to hook it all up too, because your plumbers are anywhere from $80 to $120 an hour too, so it's at least an hour for them to hook up a sink usually, anyways, and then your dishwasher hook up too. And then we got the flooring. This is just the install only price. We've been supplying them with the flooring because that saved us a bunch of money, because their quote for supplying and installing was $6.50 a square foot. And just the install is only $240. So we're able to get our floor for, I think, $2 to $220. So it's only $460 instead of the extra $650 that they were charging if they supplied it.
Gotcha.
Sometimes if you supply the materials, you can save money just because they're not adding the extra percentages for when they have to buy it. Yeah, so that's flooring for the whole unit. I didn't give us a total, but we're at 700, 800 square feet of flooring. So we're, about 800, 650. And that's a decent price for installing anywhere. I've seen $2 is usually a minimum square per foot people usually charge. So they're charging $240. So maybe they're paying their guy $2 and then they profit the 40 cents a square foot. I don't know, just guessing. And then this was just a correction on the quote because our plumber was installing the bathtub. So this is the total cost for a new bathroom, new kitchen, new doors, trim, flooring, paint.
And so the only thing extra there is we essentially would have paid about, you said like $2.50 for 800 square feet of flooring on top of that. So
yep. So there's that extra cost, and then the plumbing, roughing with a bathtub. That's another like $1,000-ish for the laundry hookup and all that. And then this doesn't include the electrical either. We have an electrician who's licensed and everything, and we just pay him the cash hourly rate. So it takes him about a week and a half to do a whole unit for all new light switches, heaters, installing a new electrical panel, running new wires for a bunch of lights. A lot of the lower units, we have to do a lot of surface mount electrical because we have a lot of concrete walls on the ceilings and stuff, so we can't really fish wires to add new lights easily on the lower units. So there's a lot of like surface mount hardware you got to put on to put in lights for lighting. And then we buy all our own light fixtures. We actually bought them for these 3 units, just bought them from Costco. Just LED surface mounted light fixtures that look really nice, and they're only like $30. And then you never have to change light bulbs and stuff too, so you're saving some there. And
so would you say about all in, we're maybe looking at 25,000 once you factor in appliances, the flooring, electrical, and plumbing?
That doesn't include the appliances. So there's like another $5,000 in appliances. We're looking at like $30,000 to hire out to another company.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this one, we're saving money, is it doesn't include travel time, because we're driving from London all the way to Chatham to do all this work, and that eats up an hour and a half, at least a day of paying guys for that. So that was one of the, when I saw this quote, it doesn't include travel time. We're saving money right there, not having to do that. So that's basic cost to do a two bedroom unit.
Awesome, Tom. Yeah, really appreciate you breaking it down for us, and love to hear, the audience's comments and thoughts and opinions. So jump in the comment section, guys. Let us know. Again, obviously, each quote's going to be unique to the individual property, but I know so many people want to get a perspective on, what's a ballpark cost to renovate a apartment, right? What's it cost to fix up a 2-unit, 800 square foot ish apartment? Yep. Well, now you guys know that we're looking at about $25,000 to $30,000, depending upon the finishes, the appliances, and some of those additional details if you're looking to outsource it.
Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Tom. And then otherwise, you mentioned this essentially is going to be like a 5-week schedule, and they're actually going to be working on 3 different apartments at the same time that are roughly similar in nature to the project we walked through here.
Yep. Yeah, they're working on 3 2-bedroom units. What's nice is they send you a schedule too. So like before they even start working, they have a schedule. The first day we're doing demo, and then this handyman's coming to do the framing, and then we have electrical 2 weeks from now, and the plumbers are scheduled to come on this day. Can you please have your countertop guy come measure on this day? And we know like weeks in advance, which is really nice. And then they give you a say we're going to be done on August 10th or whatever they said it was going to be. So I like that about this company, is that they're actually pretty good that way. And then they have their own project managers that are overseeing all their trades and everything too. So that if you have any concerns with quality or anything, you just call that project manager and they'll deal with making sure everything looks the way you want it to, which is nice. Yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with this company's work. They've pretty much stuck to the schedule so far. They're working on 4 of our units right now. We're trying to get them to do some more too, because we got a lot of units to work on.
Awesome. Well, again, appreciate you breaking this down for us, Tom, and we'll follow up once they've actually completed all the work on this project. We'll get some B-roll for you guys, and we'll catch up with Tom, and we'll actually compare the quote to reality and see whether we come in on budget and on that 5-week timeline.
Yep.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. See ya.